Good morning and welcome to a bit of a different sort of weekend vlog. First of all, it's not the weekend, it's my weekend. I worked last weekend, so it's Monday and tomorrow's going to be Tuesday obviously, and I decided why not, let's vlog. I'm going to be doing some reading, some writing, some admin, and I don't know what else. As you can tell from my face and greasy hair and the fact that I'm still in my pajamas. It's the morning, I'm chilling, I made myself a note cappuccino with a beautiful coffee I bought in Greenwich, and yeah, I'll crack on with the day. But first, one thing that I really can't wait to do is catch up on some TV series.
I play guitar. That's different. When you're lying.
Hi again. It's an hour and a bit later, almost 2 hours later, and as you can see, I'm still in my pajamas and still looking boobage. Still in my pajamas and still looking a little bit disgusting. So my GP appointment had been cancelled last week, and I've rescheduled it for this week. And yesterday they called me saying if it wasn't, asking whether I still wanted to have the appointment, and if so, it would be on the phone. So I'm waiting for that. In the meantime, I've cleaned the house, done the dishes, tidied up, so you will see that, you know, it looks a little bit better and tidy. And there is still the laundry there, but that's because it's still drying. But yeah, it looks like a lovely day outside, and part of me is tempted to go out, even though obviously you want to limit the amount of time that you spend outside the house or in spaces that are particularly crowded, but maybe just taking the dog to the park wouldn't be that bad. I also finished reading a book last night. That was the one that I was reading in my other vlog. It took me almost a month to read that book. The book I was reading is East West Street by Philippe Sands, and it's a beautiful, beautiful book for people who are interested in Second World War history, especially when looking at the Holocaust and all those horrible crimes, but especially for people who are interested in international law. I have a micromaster in international law and just find it incredibly fascinating. In the meantime, I've also been reading The God of Small Things. That's for my book club this weekend. Don't know whether it's still going ahead, considering the pandemic going on. But yeah, I'm just over halfway through, say 55% through. Part of it I listened as an audiobook while I was at the gym, and part of it I've read. I do have to say, I was expecting to like this much more than I actually am. I find it a little bit tedious. There is a lot of descriptions, and I do know that it's probably a cultural thing, but because the author is, I don't want to get this wrong, Indian or from a neighboring region, but she definitely writes from the perspective of Indian characters, and it's an interesting book. I don't know, the timeline of events is all over the place, but I usually quite like that, but I'm just finding it a little bit tedious. But yeah, that being said, I need to finish this by Sunday, and I really feel like it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But that being said, I want to sort of reward myself with every couple of chapters that I read with a chapter from a different book. And here comes the fun part. I really want to read one of these. As you will notice, they're all fiction, just because I feel like I need a little bit of fiction in my life right now. I've read a couple of books this year that were quite strong, so I need to relieve myself a little bit from all that stress and emotional baggage of those books. This one that I wanted to buy last year, Tangerine, which I've just seen it around and I haven't even read the plot, but again, found this one in there was this fun box in Lewisham that has been turned into some sort of street library. Yeah, street library, that's the word I was looking for. And people leave books and find books and all that. So I had left quite a lot of books a few months ago. I think I left 12 books that had been sent or that I bought and read and particularly feel connected to. So I left those, and over the past few weeks I have been going in and out and looking for potential replacements. To be honest, probably out of all the books, I'm very, very tempted to read Tangerine. I feel like I will probably buzz through it, and it seems really interesting. It was shortlisted for some prizes, I think. But yeah, anyway. This one I bought a couple of weeks ago. Bookshop, that is not a bookshop, it's some sort of record music shop, FOP, close to Cambridge Circus in London. And usually they have this deal that if you buy 2 books, you pay, well, it used to be £5 for 2 books, but now it's £6 for 2 books. Still, I bought this book and another book, and this one because I've read a lot of good things about Little Fires Everywhere. Buzzing through this, The Time Traveler's Wife, they even made a book, they even made a film about this, because I watched the film ages ago. I didn't even know it was based on a book. I watched the film only once, but I remember quite a lot from it. And finally, one of my favourite authors that I've discovered just last year, Donna Tartt, The Little Friend. And I'm not sure what this is about, but Donna Tartt never really disappoints, does she? To be honest, I've read the other 2 books by Donna Tartt, The Goldfinch and The Secret History. I loved them, both of them. This one is the one that sounds the least appealing to me, but still, I love her writing style. I'm sure this would be a really, really pleasant experience. Ooh, mini cabs by phone or online. Second-hand book, obviously. But yeah, so I'll decide what to read next. Hello! Again, I'm showered, I'm clean, I look like a human being. My hair is clean for the first time in like 3 days. Yeah, outside is an absolutely glorious day, considering that we've had a really long winter and today it looks like spring for the first time. And I really need to be out a little bit because I spent 7 days straight in the newsroom. Well, one day I was on a story, so I was at some sort of military parade kind of thing. But the other 6 days I was mostly sitting at my desk and writing and editing and all that. So not ideal, and I do feel like on a day like this, we should most definitely make the most out of it. So I was thinking Poppy and I could potentially go on a walk. Poppy? Walkie? Yeah, she's definitely up for it. Potentially go on a walk, and Nunhead Cemetery is fairly close to where we live, so we could go down there. I could bring a book, I could read a little bit, vlog a little bit, and then come back. Oh wow, it's almost midday. And come back at around 2-ish and have some lunch. A couple of weeks ago I went to Bird and Blend, the branch that they have at Borough Market. They're all lovely branches, but they had this fantastic blend that is Duvet Day. The description reads, "Snuggle up for luxury white tea, blissful coconut, jasmine and cinnamon. It's a duvet day." Honestly, yes, it's my duvet day, so this is definitely happening. We're now back home and I've changed into my cozy home attire. I'm going to be making some lunch because I'm really hungry, and I was thinking a nice pasta dish could be great. Last time my parents visited from Italy brought me some Italian guanciale, which is sort of like pancetta but comes from the cheek of the pig instead. So I might make that and add some tomato sauce, make some amatriciana. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to pasta for some reason. This is my beautiful homemade amatriciana, and it took me a whole, I want to say 20 minutes to make, including cooking the pasta, so definitely something that you can do anytime. How freaking cute is this tired little doggy? Hi. You're very cute, do you know that? And I love how when she's laying down, her back paw, she always have one of the two back paws sort of out. Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. Oh no. Come here, come in your bed. There's your friend here. So just came back from the shop. It was absolutely terrible. Everything was gone. All toilet paper, kitchen towel, all that was gone. But anyway, Little Joyce, Ian McEwan's book is now out in paperback, and it was $4.50 at Sainsbury's. And Andrew wanted to read that when it first came out, so I thought, why not? Let's buy it. And I added some chocolate bunnies because why not? Easter's almost here. And I wrote a little note. I know that morale hasn't been great in the past week or so because of coronavirus, so let's enjoy some Easter bunnies and share a book you wanted to read. Love you, even during a pandemic. And that's what it says. So yeah, I've laid that there for when it comes. Morning, it's Tuesday, so the next day. Yesterday I stopped filming. I was quite tired. I sort of fell asleep as I was reading. Kept on reading the God of Small Things after Andrew came home from work, and he just found me asleep after a while. He took a shower and just came out, started talking to me. I wasn't responding, came to see what was happening, and I was just asleep with a book in my hands. I have been awake for the past 3 hours? 3.5 hours, and in that time I not only got ready but also finished reading The God of Small Things. Interesting book. So here it is. I had really high expectations for this book. I was expecting to love it. It won the Booker Prize. It was shortlisted for a lot of other prizes, won many prizes. The author is very well renowned, so I was expecting to love this book. I had a very controversial relationship with The God of Small Things. I feel like I spent the beginning of it, I'm quite willing to sit through a couple of chapters where I'm not particularly fond of any of the characters, or I don't quite understand what's happening. I'm quite happy to start books like that with an open mind and see where it takes me. With this one I felt like for the majority of the initial chapters, so say a third of the way through the book, I still had this feeling, and usually, you know, if you do have this feeling, I wouldn't necessarily stick around and continue reading the book. But I did because of the book club meeting that I'm supposed to attend on Saturday, even though I'm not too sure anymore whether we're still going to have it because of coronavirus, but we'll figure that out later. So I started reading yesterday chapter 10. I think I got to chapter 11, and then chapter 13 was quite long, So I sort of started reading it and I would listen to the audiobook while reading, so that sort of sped up the process and got me through that chapter. But then I realised I wanted to keep reading normally because the remaining chapters from chapter 13 up until the end, which I think is chapter 20 or 21, is amazing. It's fantastic. It's a really, really good ending, and you see a lot of family dynamics being unfolded, and it explains a lot. You see that is very linked to the concept of societal class, and it's linked to political ideology, and it's linked to also the difference between female and male characters and the sort of role that they have within Indian society. So yes, I would recommend it. No, I'm not sure whether you'll like it or not, but yeah, do read it if you do have time. Also, yesterday I went grocery shopping. It was absolute carnage. I went to Sainsbury's in New Cross Gate and it was empty. Hardly anything there. I managed to find some dog food, which was the key reason why I went there, and I did manage to find some passata. Pasta was gone, toilet paper was gone, kitchen towel was gone, ibuprofen, over-the-counter medication all gone. Yeah, so a very sad scenario. I hate seeing people hoarding stuff that clearly they don't need. I don't think, yeah, I don't know, this coronavirus stuff is getting me down a little bit, so I'm trying to stay a little bit positive. But that means that, I think I showed you a clip yesterday, but I bought machines like me at the shop. Usually I would buy it either second hand or I would buy it from a bookshop, but I saw it in Sainsbury's and it was £4.50, so I thought, why not, half price. I'm sure part of the revenue still goes to so why not. Andrew had been meaning to read this book since they first came out in hardback. I found the cover in hardback quite disturbing. I don't know why, but I really didn't like it. So I was like, oh, I'm not even going to read the blurb. I just really didn't like the cover and it made me uneasy. It had this sort of Photoshop robo man face on it that was quite creepy, and I was just like, nah, not interested in that. That, however, has changed with this new beautiful cover that they've got. I mean, you still see sort of the creepy robot in the background, but I don't know. Charlie, drifting through life, is in love with Miranda, a bright student who lives with a terrible secret. When Charlie comes into money, he buys Adam, one of the first batch of synthetic human. This near-perfect being is beautiful, strong and clever. A love triangle soon forms. As the true nature of Miranda's secret becomes clear, the three will confront a profound moral dilemma and ask questions about what makes us who we are and whether a machine can ever understand the human heart. It sounds like a really timely sort of novel. Obviously we're seeing more artificial intelligence taking part into everyday life. We're seeing a lot of robotic machinery being introduced into production chains, but there is sort of that feel of, will artificial intelligence, will robot get into our homes as well when it comes to looking and behaving like human beings. So I feel like this will be a really interesting read. I'm tempted to read it, but it's a gift, so I'll let him read first. Since I'm going slightly mad with this social distancing stuff and so on, I thought he and I could go on a walk to a local coffee shop and sit in a fairly isolated bit and do some reading. Poppy! What are all these flowers on the floor? Poppy! Gorgeous! Hi! Should we go to Brown's? I read the first chapter of Everything I Never Told You. I'm quite liking it so far. Obviously, first chapter is set in the, I believe it's the 70s, and Yeah, 1977, May 3rd. Yeah, so we'll see what it has in store.